In this video, I want to wrap a little bit about how to get free traffic for your business from other people's audiences. This has been my number one strategy to grow a list of over 30,000 subscribers, have been partnerships with others and collaborations with others. Let me break down that process for you. So the first thing you're going to want to have is actually something to promote, right? In most cases, a webinar or masterclass is the preferred marketing asset to have other people promote. Why? Because it allows you to give some value to their people, to build trust with their people, and then make your offer at the end. That's why a webinar works so well. You get to give value, build trust, then make an offer. And it's a much more delightful asset when done right for a partner to promote of yours. Now, you could also do a free report or something like that, but in most cases, you're going to want to have a webinar. Now, if you don't have one yet, no worries. I would create one at some point, especially if you're a coach, consultant, or service professional. But if you don't worry. I would still start building out your partner network while you're creating your webinar, which brings us to the next piece, which is to actually find partners, right? Like, where do you find partners to promote you at no cost upfront? Well, I want you to think of finding partners kind of like a target board. There's like a bullseye, then there's a ring outside of that, and then kind of a ring on the outside. And so when it comes to finding partners, you want to start with the bullseye first. And the bullseye is your current network. It's the people that you may know that are one or immediate connections, 1 or 2 degrees away from you, or an immediate connection of yours that already has an email list, already has an audience of your ideal buyers. Now, some of you maybe don't have that, and I'll talk about what to do next if you don't. But many of you out there, you have a network, you have connections to people who have an audience, who have an email list. That's ultimately what you're looking for. You want people to promote you via email. It's by far better than social in other ways. Who have an email list that could already just promote you, but you just haven't leveraged that relationship in that way. And so if you know some people, write down 3 names of people you could reach out to after this video to potentially engage with for a partnership. So we want to start there. Start with your warmest people that you could metaphorically just elbow and say, hey, dude, I'm doing a webinar. Would you be open to promoting this or sharing this with your audience? That's where I would start. Some of you have that. Some of you don't. So if you don't have that, or you're looking to add more partners, the ring outside of the bullseye on the target would be mutual groups. Mutual groups. Some of you are in groups where you can connect with people within that group. You can reach out to them, mention the name of the group, and set up a conversation to discuss a collaboration together. Okay. Now, if you aren't in mutual groups, there are directories, there are joint venture or JV groups. If you're in health, wealth, speaking, coaching, authorship, you name it, there are groups out there that you can join where there are directories or groups that you can actually find people who are already looking for people who have a webinar, who have something to promote to their audience, right? And so I 100% recommend, if you are interested in generating more free traffic up front for your business, that you join these groups. These are people that are already thinking about collaborating with others, which overcomes that. And you can plug right in and start, reaching out, having conversations, all those kind of things. Those kind of groups have been one of the best sources for me to find new partners, and I would recommend you do as well. So mutual groups or joining groups are another great way to get people coming your way and to build a network of partners. Now, the third ring on the bullseye would be cold outreach. And so I don't do a lot of that anymore. If you have to do cold outreach, if you have nobody in your bullseye who's a warm contact, you could kind of elbow and get to promote you. If you don't have any mutual groups or JV groups that you join, although you can join those, and I recommend that, then you can do cold outreach, which would basically be, going to Google, finding some of the influential bloggers in your industry. Virtual summit hosts are often a great source of a great partner because they usually have email lists they've done a good job with. Podcasters, people that have a network. And you would reach out to them, which I'll talk about here in a second, in a different way, cold, than you would if they were warm to you. Okay, so those are kind of the three wings, your three rings, your personal connections, your mutual groups or JV groups, and then just kind of cold outreach. Now let's talk a little bit about reaching out to people. Okay, so maybe you've identified a list, you've put together a list of, let's say, 20 different people you're going to reach out to. The more, the better. Now, what do you say? The big idea here is you don't want to just hit them with a big, long email up front. Even if they're a warm contact of yours, especially if they're not, you don't want to hit them with, hey, I have this webinar, I have this offer, it's amazing, I'll give you affiliate commissions and da-da-da-da-da, and list all the things on the first email. That's such a rookie mistake that a lot of people make. And I get pitched those literally once a week on either a service or to be a part of something, and I almost never reply to it. Why? Because it's clearly a template. It's clearly just them thinking about themselves and not even thinking about me at all, right? And so when you reach out, even if it's to a warm contact, I would say something like this. I would say, hey, name, and then have a little personalization at the top. It's been a while. I enjoyed seeing you at this conference a year ago. And then I would say something like, partnerships have become, collaborations have become a bigger part of my business recently. And I'd love to, jump on a quick call with you to discuss how I might support you and how we might collaborate. Let me know if you're interested. Name. That's it. It's short. It's sweet. It's just opening a door. And then from there, if they respond back, you can get them your calendar, get on a call and discuss, the partnership from there. If it's somebody who's in a mutual group, I would reach out with that mutual group in mind. So I would say something like, in the headline, it would be like the name of the group, open to connecting. Then I would say something like, hey, name, I see we're both in XYZ group. I've been in the group just recently or for whatever amount of time. Partnerships have become a big part, or collaborations have become a bigger focus for me in my business. Since we're both in this group, I thought it might be, we both have a common interest or a common audience. I wanted to see if you'd be open to discussing how we might support each other in business. Let me know if you're interested, so-and-so, your name at the bottom. That would be a decent, good email there for reaching out to people in mutual groups. If you'll name drop groups or mutual connections, I see we're both connected to so-and-so, that greatly increases the take rate of your email response. If you're doing any sort of outreach, name drops, group drops are an excellent strategy to use. Now, if they're cold to you, maybe they've never heard of you, you're in no mutual groups together, maybe you just found them on Google, you followed them on social media, I would just reach out even lighter and say, hey, so-and-so, I found your work here, insert where you found them. I particularly like this piece of thing you did. Just wanted to reach out and say, hi, great, keep up the great work, so-and-so, your name at the bottom. That you're not even mentioning the partnership yet. You're just saying thank you. If they reply back to you with thank you so much, I appreciate it. That's where you could say, hey, I see, looks like we're serving the same audience. Not sure if you'd be interested in this or not, but I'm looking at how I could support other people more in my business. Would you be open to jumping on a quick 20-minute call to discuss how I might support you and we might support each other? Name at the bottom. That's it. And it's much more about a how can I help you position than what can you do for me. When you just spam or plaster, even with good intentions, all of your offers, information there, people are going to be turned off by that. So you want it very light, very direct, very short, very human approach. Most people, one of the mistakes I see is in the name of efficiency, people will just put all their stuff up front and it's just like a templated spam thing. It almost never gets responses. So take the human approach, take the extra step, you'll get more replies. All right, so we've talked about finding partners with the 3 rings on the target. We've talked about reaching out to people, excuse me. And then the next piece would be hosting the presentation. So we want to host a webinar. So, if they agreed to promote you, you would give your webinar to their audience, you would give value, do a good job, go through all those pieces there, make your offer. Maybe you split the commissions with them if they want. Maybe you send leads back to them, to your audience. You work out an arrangement there. And then when it's done, you want to do the final step, which everybody forgets, which is to sort of re-engage or recap how it went. If you made some sales, great. If you got a certain number of leads, great. maybe recap. And then if it went well, you could do it again. You could schedule another thing for them, let's say in the next 6 months or so. And you could also do what hardly anybody does, which is important if it went well, ask for partner referrals. One of my best sources now is just I have good partners and they'll refer people to me. So I'll ask them something like, hey, that went really well. Hey, is there 1 or 2 other partners that you have that have worked really well for you? I'm looking to expand my partner network. Happy to send some people your way as well. If anybody comes up, mention that. Like, can you do a partner swap? Can you do email introductions to each other to get more partners in your network? So I'm kind of going down the rabbit hole here on the details of the process, but hopefully this is helpful for you. Again, I've used this strategy to generate tons of free leads for my business up front. I do affiliate commissions on certain offers, or I'll promote other people as well in return for them supporting me. But that's a whole nother discussion for another time. The big thing here is if you want to get more partnership-focused traffic, more free traffic to your business, traffic that will never be disrupted by an algorithm or anything like that, this is a great strategy that I just broke down for you. So hopefully this video is helpful. If you'd like to learn how to create a high-converting webinar in under 60 minutes using the power of AI, there's a link in the description to a free training that can help you create that webinar much faster and easier than you thought possible, that you can then use with your partners to generate more leads for your business. That strategy, if you'll commit to it, can be an absolute home run. So check that out in the link below. That's it for this video. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to hit the like button. That helps the algorithm out. Feel free to leave a comment below, either with a question or if you'd like access to that free training, go ahead and comment below. I'll get that to you as well. And I look forward to making another video for you soon. Take care.